Hello my friends and welcome to part 60 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel Let's Play series. In today's video, first I'll go over the new mission. The new notifications. Okay, so looks like there's only one. I hope you did well in Season 6 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel rank ladder. If you'd like to, you can feel free to tell me which rank you ended up in. If any of you managed to make it to Diamond 1, which I know is quite an achievement. I couldn't even make it to Platinum Tier 1 before the change. So I bet getting to Diamond is a really cool feeling. Does that make it more comparable to Duel Links, or does Duel Links still have more ranks you can go through? I'm not sure. I don't know. I think it's close. I know there's just no like tier in of itself like in Duel Links, but who knows? So yeah. So it's basically the same. They have the same tiers. They didn't add any new ones yet. And of course, depending on what rank you were before, you start this season over just a little bit lower. So if you were in Diamond 1, start a little bit lower than Diamond 1. Maybe it's Diamond 5. Maybe it's like, I think it's like 4 under. So like if you were in Diamond 1, it was Diamond 5. And since I ended up in Gold 1, now I'm in Silver 5. Does that mean if you were Diamond 1, you're Platinum 5 now? So is it like, does that count as 4 less or 5 less? I feel like that would count as 5 less. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So yeah. So there I am. So yeah, I ended up in Gold 1. I just wanted to go to Gold 1 so I would earn a little bit more gems. So now I have almost 4,000, so that's pretty good. And then of course the mission, I have that daily login mission that I can collect, so 20 gems, not too bad. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the gate missions. So here we go, solo mode. And of course, I'm using still that revised frog deck with the dangers in it. It was pretty fun last time, it should still be fun. So, I have one more duel to get through here. And it's another difficulty 5 duel, ooh. Anyway, and I got 4 legacy tickets for completing this one. That's actually quite a bit. Pretty awesome. Anyway, the little snippet for those of you who missed it on my last video, which I know was a while ago, so I'm gonna read it again. Even if there's no super polymerization, your monster with a predator counter may be used as a fusion material for your opponent. In particular, Predaplant Clammy Do Sundu uses monsters as a fusion material as dark, so you cannot be relieved just because it is an attribute other than dark. Also, level 2 or higher monsters with a predator counter will be level 1, so be careful when aiming for synchro and exceed summon. Wait, it's another duel with the Predaplants? I thought I already read that snippet. I don't know what's happening. I definitely didn't do it. Oh, maybe I read it and I just didn't have time for it. Oh well. I'm definitely doing it now. Okay, let's do it. And that felt like deja vu. I really thought I already played against a Predaplant. Maybe there are 2 Predaplants in this gate. I don't know. Anyway, I'm playing against a Predaplant opponent now, so... And here's my frog deck. So it looks like I'm just setting things for now. I think I better keep the Morella as discard 5 because I don't want to use my Dasher because I can use him later to go into DP. Okay, so this one wants to special summon something else. Okay. Well, I can't stop the special summon. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Oh, he can use... He's allowed to use materials from the hand? That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna... Okay, and then I'll just... Now I can do the Dynamiscus, which isn't bad. I'll banish the Camouflager. Discard the Morella. Man, that's too bad that he doesn't have any spells or traps right now, but hopefully he sets one. Nope, my opponent isn't setting one. Well, technically my opponent would be an it since it's a control computer, but whatever, it's fine. I'm sure the computer's opponent's not as offended if I get the pronoun a little bit wrong. Dang it. Now I'm not sure if I should do this. I think I have to do something. Man, that really sucks because now I get... But whatever. 400 damage. If I would have... I should have kept one of the only noise in the hand. That would have been much better if I would have set the melon instead. I wasn't thinking though. Come on, he just needs to set a spell or trap. And I can't do it on my Geki because my Paleozoic would just be destroyed. Does he have any back row? Come on, seriously, no back row? How does this guy not have any back row? Okay, here we go. Torrential isn't bad. At least... it's terrible for using with Paleozoics because if I try summoning something after I activate the Torrential, it's just going to be destroyed by the Torrential. But I'll allow the 200 poke damage. I'm fine with that. Come on, seriously, you're not setting anything or activating anything that I can at least just... Okay, I'll take Amela. It's fine. Yeah, whatever. I'll just activate the torrential. What does that allow him to do? Add something? Oh boy. Okay, now I can do the Mela. And of course I'm chained the Dynamiscus. And then I'll send something to my graveyard. I guess the rise to full height is... Yeah. Well, I no longer really need the dasher. Oh, come on. Seriously, it had to be that one? I mean, technically, I snipe my own thing. Yeah, I guess. Feels bad, but what else am I supposed to do? Wait. And then I can technically activate the other one. Yeah. It's a little bit better than I thought. Because now I get 2 Paleozoic summons. Nice. Okay, so I could go for Totally Awesome, but I don't think I'm gonna go for Totally Awesome just yet because... yeah. Because I want to battle first. That's more damage. Wait. Actually, I should probably go for the animal cause first. Yeah. Wait, no, not the animal cause, the Opabinia. Because then the Opabinia allows me to do that to get a Morella. Now I can activate the Morella straight away. And then chain out my Olenoides. And send a Lost Wind to the graveyard. Yeah, I'll send that Lost Wind. Now, I forgot about Zeus, but that's okay. I don't think I'm gonna do Zeus anyway. I'll do Totally Awesome. So now instead of just getting Totally Awesome out, I end up being able to get out both Opabinia and Totally Awesome. Yep, I'll activate Totally Awesome now. Special summon Dewfog. And I also ended up getting a Lost Wind in my graveyard too, so shouldn't count that out entirely. Oh, now he set something. Now he set something. Oh, thank you for saying something after I already sniped my own back row. Whatever, at least I'm Totally Awesome still to negate whatever that is. Okay, I think I actually got game this time, so that's good. Setting the Ronin. I'll add back to my hand. Actually, I should probably add the... I think I have at least one. Or don't even have it. Fine, whatever, Canadia. It's fine, I guess. And then I'll go ahead and null summon Swafog again. I guess I can put in another Dewfog. I'm gonna do this. Ooh, the Verdant Anaconda seems kind of nice. Okay, let's do that. Don't really need to use the... There, that's fine. Oh yeah, once you use its effect, you can't spell summon anymore. Forgot about that part. I mean, I guess I could technically go with Knightmare Phoenix then. I mean, I don't really have to. Yeah, I guess I might as well go with Knightmare Phoenix. But there's no way to co-link it. Dang it. You know what? I'll just go for Mistar then. Oh, yeah, I forgot I got rid of the stuff. I'm just gonna activate Pause Eyes. Ooh, Reasoning, I might as well. Okay, so now I can go for... technically I can go for access code. I think I might as well. Oh, super poly. I'm just gonna go for a game. Oh, come on, really? I should probably save my negate out. I didn't realize he'd do that. That's crazy. I guess I'll just do the area. Well. Okay, I'm gonna activate totally. Yeah. We add the totally. Nice. Okay, just in case it's still not game. Just do it like this then. Come on. There we go. Finally, man. Okay, now I can go with the ending scenario. First, I gotta collect my rewards. I love that I get expanse in solo mode now. So that's really cool. Okay. So now I'll go through the ending scenario. Again, I got 4 legacy tickets for winning that last duel. And here's what I get for completing the ending scenario here. World Legacy Awakens. Immediately after its effect resolves, link summon 1 link monster using monsters you control as material. You can only activate 1 World Legacy Awakens per turn. It's kind of nice because you can trap trick it. But the only thing is, It's kind of conflicts with IP Masquerena, since IP Masquerena can basically do the same thing. So because of that, I feel like IP Masquerena is easier to go to, because she's only a Link 2, and she has pretty generic materials, I believe, only asking for 2 non-Link monsters. And I mean, World Legacy is usually pretty. The World Legacy monsters are usually pretty easy to spam out each other because of how, like, the links, like, whenever they're sent to the graveyard, they just special summon another monster from the hand. They're usually able to, like, summon out a bunch of stuff. So I feel like it shouldn't be that hard to summon IP Masquerena. So if you really want an effect like this, I think just playing IP Masquerena is better than, like, having to play a trap that you could probably search for it, though. I guess IP Masquerena would technically want to be activated during your opponent's turn. But another thing about IP Masquerena is that she makes the monster she summons unable to be destroyed by card effects, so you can activate her in response to like something like a Raigeki or a Lightning Storm, to make the monster she summons out not be affected by that Raigeki or Lightning Storm and be able to stay on the field. So that's another thing she has going against this trap. You can't just activate this on a Raigeki or Lightning Storm. You just have to like let it go. But yeah, you might be able to like. But if like there was some of the World Legacy links, you could maybe reestablish some kind of board and then use this afterwards. But I still feel like IP Masquerena might be better. And then maybe like only play this if you really need more than just the IP Masquerena, I guess. I don't know. Then again, something this has going, like IP Masquerena doesn't really need to be searched though. So even though it's kind of easy to search this, not only with the trap trick, but also with a few of your like World Legacy monsters and stuff that like search for World Legacy stuff, World Legacy cards. It does make it a little bit easier to get out of your deck, but like IP Masquerena is pretty easy to get out of your extra deck because it's a low link and it's always in your extra deck. So it's not like IP Masquerena really needs to be summoned. So I don't know. I just feel like IP Masquerena might be a bit better. Like before IP Masquerena though, this might have been a really good card. I think this might have came out first. So yeah. There we go. That's something. I think it's the same reason that one one card that like there's like a trap card that lets you synchro summon during your opponent's turn. And this is also really generic, so that's pretty cool. But the only problem with those two cards is that there's already a sync monster, and there's already a link that can do what their effect says during an opponent's turn. And usually people like to like play like X deck monsters that do that instead, because it doesn't cram their deck, and they don't have to worry about searching for them. But yeah, you can definitely try it if you want. I just think like IP Masquerena is just better. Anyway, so I'll go through auto. So, but first it says a ram rushed to the base of the World Lance, but it was too late. By the time we arrived, Iblee had already finished activating the World Lance. With the newfound power of the World Lance, Iblee launched an aggressive assault on Aram. With such destructive force that each blow shook the earth, Aram faced the attacks alone. In the face of those attacks, Aram now lay wounded on the ground. Oh boy, it's Iblee. Iblee moved to pick up Aram's discarded sword, now swinging over and over as if to check the weight. Then Iblee moved in closer to inflict the final blow on Aram. Now, as a reminder, Aram couldn't move his upper body, let alone stand up. I feel like this is important. So, as a reminder, Iblee is basically the evil version of Lee when Lee the fairy got corrupted by some evil power, and then Lee basically took over the girl. What was the girl World Chalice? You know that girl World Chalice monster's name? The one of the three warriors. She took over the female warrior. And so basically she now the evil dwells inside of that female warrior too. Just as Iblee... Oh, now I remember. Just as Iblee raised his sword to strike, a small shadow emerged from Aram's cloak. Now, okay, now I get it. Because it's Ib and Lee. The female warrior's name was Ib. So they're basically just taking the two names, the name of the fairy and the name of the warrior, and mashing their two names together. So Lee took over the body of Ib. And now Ib is evil because of that. Because she's being controlled by Lee. So anyway, that should help clear it up a little bit. Huh, just got that. That's actually really cool what they did there. The young dragon Imduk summoned his otherworldly power between the young boy and girl, determined to help his companions in the time of crisis with whatever he can muster. That power suppressed the evil that dwelled in Ib, if only for a moment. By suppressing Lee's evil spirit, the spirit of Ib that had resided deep in the depths had now awakened. Aram laid on the ground powerless. Imduk was exhausted of his powers and unable to move. And Ib was now holding a sword in her hand. Realizing her situation, she made her decision. Oh, what's that? Only she could put an end to Lee's evil desires. Ooh. Her hand that held the sword now tense with strength. Lee realized Ib's intentions and tried to resist, but Ib's awakened spirit overcame her. She sees a flashback of her childhood friend desperately calling her in her direction. The young girl drew short, rapid breaths, points the blade toward herself, and when Nagisa arrived at the scene, he saw his childhood friend holding the linked body of his little sister in his arms, repeatedly calling her name. Wow, this got dark. And realized that the World Legacy lore got so dark. At the cruel end of this surreal scene, the older brother could do nothing but stand there, stunned and speechless. Well, okay, so the card I got for that is World Legacy Awakens. Immediately after this effect result. Yeah, you already know it. But yeah, definitely let me know if you did, if you tried out this card and what you think about it, and if you really think it's either better or worse than IP Masquerader, and if it's on you play before IP Masquerader, because I feel like this came first. Anyway, so there's that, and then of course with that story they couldn't like they couldn't really like go into much detail with that one part, because I mean, of course this is a family friendly game, so they can't get too graphic. Yeah, but yeah, I think it was pretty obvious what happened there. Man, that was crazy. talking about that one part with the sword. I don't want to like really say it because I don't think YouTube would enjoy that much either. I'm trying to keep my channel family friendly as well. I think it should be pretty obvious. Anyway, let's go into I'm gonna sneak a peek at the secret pack that I unlocked, the cosmic mechanical entities. I feel like I already showed off this secret pack, but I'll show it off again. Oh yeah, this is the one. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, this is actually pretty good because you actually have a free way of getting to nightmares. So that's pretty cool. So if you want to just go straight into nightmares without having to craft anything, just play the Mech Knight story mode. It's a little bit hard to get to it because I believe you need to complete the first part of the World Legacy, and the World Legacy is like one of the longer solo mode stuff, especially the first part. I feel like the first part was pretty long, but then again, that could have just been because it had so many scenarios in that first bit, where they were like fighting the crawlers and all that. Yeah. So yeah, since the World Legacy solo mode was dealing with both the crawlers, the nightmares, and the Mech Knights, of course they'd all be featured in here. Here's the X-Crawler Quailiarch. I mean, I feel like all of the X-Crawler slings have pretty nice effects. They're good for their own reasons, so I think you at least want one of each of the crawler links if you're planning to play the crawler deck. I don't think that any of them are. Well, I guess the X-Crawler Synapsis is kind of generic, but its effect really isn't, so I'm not sure if you would even play it then. Though I guess something to think about is it does... Wait, no, it has to be discard points too. Oh yeah, discard points too. So yeah, they wouldn't count themselves unless like they have another crawler points them. Huh. But X-Crawlers that they point to, of course, count too, since X-Crawlers count as crawlers. Anyway, here's also the Mech Knight link that I was talking about. It gets it could attack directly too. That's pretty nice. So as long as it's the only column, so I mean, I guess which might seem kind of difficult, but maybe not like too difficult, since even like when first beginning, if your opponent doesn't have a column in the other column, taking up the other link column, you can just choose. If it's possible, you could just choose which link. You already have a choice there, and then you can just put it in the one that has no other cards. Or maybe like there's a way you could just destroy all the other cards in that column, and then you can attack directly with this thing. Yeah, so I think that the first effect can be a little situational, but like if you can pull it off, 3,000 direct attack damage is pretty nice. And it also has some other nice effects that like if you don't have any, if it doesn't point to any monsters, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. And since it only has link arrows facing down, that means that it's a little bit easier to control, since you can since it's basically up to you whether it points to monsters or not. So like you can like that can be a good effect too. A little situational, but it can definitely be a good effect, especially since it's more up to you than to your opponent if it points to monsters. You can send one of the cards you control in this card's column, special summon a Mech Knight monster from your deck to defense position, which can help with having it be able to attack directly, and also get rid of a monster that's pointing down to as well for the second effect. Oh yeah, it has to be in the extra monster zone in order to not be destroyed by card effects also. So yeah, that's another thing. I can definitely see why it's good. It also has that special summon from the deck, which is also good. It's any of the Mech Knight monsters. Yeah, this thing does seem pretty good. Even if it's even if it doesn't have its first two effects online, if you can like be able to like get its final effect off, sending a Mech Knight that it points down to the graveyard in order to special summon another one from your X deck. I mean, from your main deck. Um, yeah, that seems good. I can see why it's good. And then of course the nightmares. Most of the nightmares are really good, except for maybe like the Griffin. And I mean, Cerberus does occasionally see play, but definitely not as much as Unicorn and Phoenix. Because I guess it's more just back row that wants to be destroyed than like monsters. There's already so many other ways to get rid of monsters. Maybe not as many to get rid of like back row. And this way, if your opponent tries turning off your spells with Imperial Order, I think it is, then you can just go into Nightmare Phoenix instead and get rid of the Imperial Order. Because I think I mean that's not really a problem for like frogs, but most of the other but most like non-control decks would mostly just play spell based ways to get rid of back row. Like Dry Brigades don't really play like, I mean they do have like other ways besides the spells to get rid of back row though, but some decks really need Phoenix in order to get through like Sun floodgates, so it's good to have. And then some of the Mech Knights, of course, the Knightmare Corrupted Iblee. She used to be really good when like Mermaid was like what was like still unbanned, because Mermaid can just like search and can just special summon Iblee straight from the deck, and then Iblee, you can send her to the graveyard for a link summon, and then if you can eventually go into a U-Link, you can like also have your opponent have Iblee, so now they can't special summon anything except link monsters, but because you U-Linked, meaning that like you have like X deck monsters in both of the link zones with no like arrows pointing to your opponents, to any of your opponent's zones. So basically lock them out of link summoning, and you basically lock them out of every other kind of spell summon as well. And some decks have a really hard time dealing with Iblee when something like that happens. They don't really, because then they have to like find another way to get rid of Iblee. Probably just like attack her into something, but then that basically makes it so that like you basically skipped your main phase 1 and battle phase. So yeah, it can be pretty good like in that sense. But of course I'm pretty sure even those like even a lot of the cards that you need for making that work, I think a lot of those cards are actually banned now, so it's probably a lot hard to do something like this in this game, but it's definitely fun when you can pull it off. Seeing an opponent struggle like that, like, and then like basically locking them like as, and it's another way to lock them out of special summoning. But I think there might be like easier ways to do it. Like the Vanity's Emptiness is still unbanned in this format. I think it's at 1, but at least it's unbanned. But yeah, it is definitely one of the more fun ways of locking them out of summoning. I better go finish this up. World Legacy Pawns, pretty good card for crawlers. There's a Sorrow. Oh yeah, see, this was from, oh yeah, this was what was the part where Ib died. Man. So that's what it was from. It was from that final scenario. Oh boy. And then Crawler, Mech Knight. Some more Mech Knights, some more World Legacy stuff. A lot of which probably don't really see play. But I believe you get the World Legacy Succession from the solo mode as well. So that's another good reason to play the solo mode. Because World Legacy Succession is actually a really good generic card that special summons stuff. And I believe you get that from the solo mode. So yeah. So there's those cards. I know I didn't go through them in much detail, but I mean, there's a lot of good cards in that secret pack for Mech Knights and the World Legacies, a few good World Legacy cards and a few good Knightmares and Crawler cards. But probably the best cards in there are probably the Mech Knight cards, because Mech Knights isn't like too bad of a deck. Yeah, Mech Knights aren't too bad. Anyway, I'll go into the next one now. It's called Enforcers and Justice. This is the Lightsworn. Ooh, I like Lightsworns. Lightsworns are pretty fun, I think. So the gate details are the Lightsworn wield their mighty powers to enforce justice. The trade-off is your deck itself. Seek victory before your deck runs out. Where there's a cry for help, the Lightsworn on there. I think this is another pretty fun deck besides the frogs to play Grass Looks Greener in. Anyway, so for this one, it's the first scenario, and I get 3 Janes for completing this. If this card attacks an opponent's monster, it gains 300 attack during the damage step only. Once per turn during end phase, send the top 2 cards of your deck to graveyard. Yeah, not the best Lightsworn. Usually you don't really care about a monster that's just about gaining attack. So yeah, it doesn't really see much play. So yeah, not the greatest reward, but still cool that like it's a free Lightsworn. Any free card is nice because at least you get new stuff in your card collection. Anyway, here's the story. Forces of Justice. Sword in hand, clad in armor, body adorned in robes. All shine brightly like platinum, the heroic platoon's display of power. They're known as the Lightsworn. From whence did they come, and for what do they fight? The wishes of those praying for peace, the cries of those suffering under tyranny, the innocent tears of children. They appear suddenly, an army of light breaking through the barrier of space and time. To each they aid, their justice embodies a different form. Some see a knight in shining armor, others see a graceful wizard. Still others see a divine angel or a dragon so great it eclipses a mountain with a single wing they claim. Regardless of the form the enforcers take, their mission is unchanging. After annihilating the wicked, they vanish without a trace. They live in the radiant realm of light. In a world existing in another plane of space and time, they continually train in preparation for dispensing justice. This is also another deck that I could see Snow being good in, since you're probably accumulating so many resources in your graveyard that you can pretty easily bring out Snow later on. And if Snow ends up in your graveyard, you can just special summon her out with her own effect. You might not want to like banish the actual Lightsworn monsters, but like I'm sure you're probably running enough spells or traps to accommodate her special summon that you don't mind banishing. Anyway, so here we go. Here's a little practice for the Lightsworn deck. And you get 150 wind orbs for completing it. I should look at what the description says. I'll do that afterwards. What makes a Lightsworn deck unique? This deck is filled with monsters with high attack and useful effects, but you must send a few cards from your deck to the graveyard during each of your end phases. Make sure you saddle the duel before you run out of cards to draw. If you can fill your graveyard with 4 more Lightsworn monsters with different names quickly, you will be able to bring out the ace monster, Judgment Dragon. This monster has an effect that allows you to destroy all of the cards on the field at the cost of 1,000 life points. So basically, I think the one cool way of making this deck is basically filling it up with monsters and other things that have graveyard effects as well. Because then if you like send them to the graveyard with the Lightsworn's milling effect, then you can then they can still be relevant in the graveyard. But probably don't play too. But you do want to have a balance between cards that would be good in the graveyard and cards that are good in both the hand and the graveyard, or cards that would be good to draw, because you might not necessarily mill the exact cards you want. That is one of the things about the Lightsworn deck. You don't always get to choose which cards you mill. I mean, of course, so if you have effects that put cards on top of the deck or back on top of the deck, then you'll know exactly what you're milling. But there aren't a lot of good cards that have that kind of effect. That lets you know exactly what you'll be able to mill, basically. Set everything up to special summon Judgment Dragon when on this turn. Activate Solar Recharge. Yeah, also Solar Recharge is pretty awesome. It's basically like Destiny Draw, but with an added mill effect. And it's for Lightsworns instead of oh yeah, because I milled Wolf with the Solar Recharge because it mills the top 2 cards of my deck. I now get Special Summon Wolf because he has an effect where he can be Special Summon if he's sent from the deck to the graveyard. And that can be any way. So if you Foolish Bail him, that's another way to Special Summon him. So not too bad. And then this one has the effect where when it Tribute Summon, you get to send the top 4 cards of your deck to the graveyard to destroy up to 2 cards your opponent controls. And the up 2 is really nice because if they only have 1 in that case, you can just still destroy it. Some effects have say your opponent needs to have exactly 2 in order to. You need to destroy exactly 2 cards your opponent controls or something like that. So if your opponent has less, you won't be able to actually destroy any of their cards. Yeah, so okay, so there's that little bit of sneak peek at the Lightsworns. So after I get the reward, I'll go ahead and stop there. Oh, so that's a little description that says a light orb for unlocking lock chapters in solo mode. Oh, I said orb win. Yeah, I think the win one is the green one. Man, I get confused sometimes. Oh well. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed those duels and that one duel, that one final duel with my Paleozoic Frogs deck versus the, what was it? It was Knight with the, oh wait, no, it was the Predaplant deck. Yeah, versus the Predaplant deck. And then that final scenario with the Knights. And I also did a practice for getting me ready to play the Lightsworn deck. So I hope you enjoyed all that. Please like, share, and subscribe, and consider ringing that notification bell for regular content such as the Let's Plays, such as those special loner deck battle series that I do, and the other things I do with the festivals that come up from time to time, and also going through a few of the new news that that this game has. Please let me know which is what your favorite thing that I do is, if you like, and like, or like how I can improve. But anyway, I'll see everyone in the next video. For those of you who don't want to save for the pack opening, but as for the rest, I'll go ahead and do a pack opening now. I should have plenty of time for pack opening, but just in case, I'll go a little quick. So the pack opening, I have a few more legacy packs open. I'll try to always keep it on 10, which shouldn't be too hard because I have like 300, over 300 right now. So the first one, you see, I'm still getting new cards even for the lower rarities. It's crazy that I'm still getting new cards with how many legacy packs I open. No really notable cards there. Majestic Mech is kind of cool. You get to tribute summon it with 1 tribute. I mean, that's pretty good for a 2900 attack monster. It's sent to the graveyard, but if you can do stuff with it, other stuff with it anyway, like, the downside isn't really that bad, since it only, like, since you basically wait, it doesn't happen until the end phase. So yeah. Oh, I got another World Legacy card. Is this any good? Activate one of the following effects. Send 1 link monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. Banish 7 World Legacy cards from the graveyard. Add 1 Cyberus monster from your deck to your hand. Yeah, there's cards that do this better. I mean, like, there's a lot of monster destruction effects, and then Silent Mining already, like, is able to add Cyberus monsters, like, much easier. All you gotta do is, like, discard a card in order to add a level 4 lower Cyberus with that effect. That one is, like, any Cyberus, but, like, really it's the lower level ones that you're looking more for anyway. Oh, I got a nice hollow desk koala. I kind of like that. Especially because, fun fact, my mom's favorite animal is a koala. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So the fact that I got a hollow one is a really nice thing. Oh, and then Sinister Sprocket. I kind of like a Sinister Sprocket. It's kind of cool. It has a nice destroyer face-up spell trap card on the field when it's used for a Synchro summon. But the only thing that kind of stinks about that is it needs to be a face-up spell trap. So if your opponent doesn't have anything, then you don't really get to use its effect. If it said any spell trap, that it would probably still be fine, probably still not be broken, but actually be a little bit more playable. Anyway, here's the cards I got. Here's the quantities that I got all the cards in. Looks like this guy got 4 of him now, so that kind of sucks. Oh well. So this was the first S quality I got too. Wow. It has kind of a nice burn effect. Like, it could, like, burn your opponent for quite a bit. The only problem is, like, if your opponent is able to destroy this card without flipping it up first, then you don't actually get to activate its effect. I'll go through this a little bit quicker since I'm running out of time. So here's the cards. Here's all the cards I got. And you can always feel free to pause if you want to get a better look at them. Rare Fish is kind of notable because you can actually special summon out using instant fusion. So that's kind of cool. But I think my favorite card from the pack was Deathsqualler. I'm because it's a nice tribute. Tribute to one of my pins. So yeah, definitely let me. And the fact that I got in Hollow is really nice too. And it's the first one. So yeah, not bad. Anyway, please let me know what your favorite card for the secret pack was, or your favorite sets of cards, and you can give me a different reason for each favorite card, just one reason for a set of favorite cards. And I'll be doing another let's play video on the on Monday, which I figured out is July 4th, so that's pretty cool. So it's kind of like I'm doing a special video on July 4th. It just so happens to be that way, so that's pretty cool. And then I'll also post another Bible verse in the description, so be sure to, like, I hope some of you do read it, and maybe even tell your friends about it. But anyway, I think that's about it. So I hope you had a good time watching. Bye, everyone.